My name is Brandon Coleman. I'm a keyboard player slash producer, funketeer. I've been a staple now in Kamasi, Washington's band for the last 6 or 7 years. I've also performed with Alicia Keys, Babyface, Michelle Pharrell, Childish Gambino. I've been around. I love to listen to various genres. I love to mimic those genres and try to recreate my own personality through those genres. I guess how I got into music making is probably contributed to my late older brother, Marcus Coleman, who was a phenomenal musician. And he was also a composer. He did a lot of TV and film. For the most part, I mean, I would see him do tracks and just produce. I find inspiration from everything. You know, I'm really inspired by just sound in general, just noises. You know, you'd be surprised, you know, if you ever throw something in a dryer and you hear that thing just repetitively, just, you know, I don't know, I hear tracks. I hear beats, you know. The first time I ever used any of the Arturia products was at a studio session. I remember one day we were trying to find a sound. I went through like every sound in my keyboard. And then the engineer says, oh man, what about, I can pull up Arturia. And I was like, sure, let's pull it up. And that was the first time I had my mind blown that software synthesizers could do something so like real. It sounded like a hardware synth. I was like, no. Listen, we're starting a new relationship together, me and this keyboard, the AstroLab. The innovative capabilities of this keyboard have kind of revolutionized the game to me. Just the aspect of being able to take sounds that I'm working in real time and literally dumping them into this keyboard and then going to a gig and playing that same sound. I feel like that kind of changes the game for keyboards. I've done tons of tours over the years and can't even tell you how many times my laptop has had issues. So the fact that I don't need that to run a show, I think that's pretty effective. I think that's really cool. And gives a new meaning to like creating your own sound, you know? It's almost like this is like the Brandon Coleman exclusive keyboard, you know, because all these sounds are literally my own presets. You guys know synthesizers are very expensive, especially like the older ones. Growing up, you know, you hear like a cool Earth, Wind & Fire Rhodes, you know, and now you can have literally that same Rhodes. You know, they got it all modeled really well. It's this Tokyo Dreams. It's a Yamaha CS80, you know, so it's got this really fat filter. The filters on here are literally identical to the original keyboard, and I think that's really cool. Bass, really cool. Very easy to kind of shape the tone you want. That's fat. Real musicians, you know, we want the real hardware. You know, we want the knobs, we want to touch, we want to, you know, but more importantly, we want the sound of those instruments to be authentic. I mean, yes, there are other plugins that sound great, that have great synth engines, but you know, when you go to Arturia stuff, it really sounds authentic to the hardware. I think that's what makes it the most special for me. Another brilliant feature about this keyboard that I really enjoy is the built-in effects. It's really cool to just have reverbs right at your fingertips. And delay. You need a little delay. You never know when you might have to rival a guitar playing some rhythm guitar with a guitar player. Another cool function about this keyboard that I enjoy is aftertouch. Super important. especially when you want to do like dynamic, just little dynamic swells. You don't want much. It's very subtle, but you can make it as literally as broad or as little as you want it, which is cool. When you look at some of these other keyboards, all these knobs, I know people, I've talked to tons of pianists over the years and they're like, oh man, this is so intimidating. Looking at all these buttons, all these knobs, all these sub menus. And I think having a keyboard like the AstroLab kind of cuts all that down because the functionality is right there in your face. It's gonna be with me at every studio session. I'm lucky to be living in this time that we're living in where technology is changing and evolving so much, so fast around us, I feel like that's pretty special.